Okay. All right, so let's see what we got here. All right, my friends. So I'm Dawn Thompson. Welcome to the Truth Tribe. I appreciate all of you again. As you all know on all of these calls, I appreciate so many of you showing up on a weekly basis because we're here to expand, and just being here, I want you to know, expands your energy, expands your frequency, expands who you are and where you're going in this life. You are all perfect, exactly where you are right now, and there's nothing wrong with you. It's hard to believe that, right? Because we have these lives that we're experiencing, and the way we think it should be, and the way we want things to go, and so we start to think something's wrong with us, and there's nothing wrong with you. It's just the journey you came to experience. You came to work out. You came to deal with your karma, and karma is not a negative thing, which is what people think. So tonight, I'm going to start with a personal share because I think it'll help you all understand where I'm going with this call tonight, with my truth on astrology and science and God, okay? Because it's fascinating to me. I never felt, for me, the need for a middleman, right? I just had this ability to talk to my guides, talk to angels, talk to God, and I just did, right? I didn't ask for permission. I never really thought that that was a thing. I didn't know through my life, through the years, that I was going to be bullied for my truth. And I didn't even understand why until now. And so, I look back and I can recall countless times over the last 30 years of people criticizing me for my beliefs in astrology or tarot or numerology or past lives, quantum healing. Past lives was a big one. And I would get literal emails or messages letting me know that I could be saved, right? And that the work I was doing was somehow the work of the devil. And, or how that one of the questions I always found, this was one I thought was really fascinating. How could I have psychic friends and believe in God? And I was like, well, and then there was a part of me going, but I'm psychic, I'm intuitive. And the thought was such a weird statement for me. I just thought, I was like, it's the weirdest thing I've ever heard someone say, right? And so what fascinated me most was how steady and strong that my connection with God was, and how lazy that I thought that they were for their lack of understanding beyond a book that was written by a man. A book and a system with so much suffering and control attached to it, right? Because the God that I believed in was empowering and unconditionally loving beyond any book or cult-like system. And that's what a lot of them are. We don't want to admit it, but that's the truth. Okay, so this was my belief. Why do you need a book? Why do you need a box? Why do you need a middleman to connect to source and have a dialogue, right? And I had no idea, honestly, I had no idea we would end up here, right? To see where we are right now, that my entire life of rejecting all the boxes and all the rules would be the source of light for all of you and all of my books and all of the energy that we teach now. And I really had no idea that those boxes would be burning down in exchange for quantum thinking. Did I want it? Did I think it? No, but I endured a lot of this thinking, maybe I'm the bad, like something's wrong with me, right? But I always knew it didn't feel right. The energy did not feel loving and kind with people making those statements. They weren't loving statements. They were actually very critical and hurtful statements. So I thought, that's weird. That's not very godlike, right? And these were very religious people. And I'm not bashing religion. I'm just bringing out an observation for 30 years, right? And so there's this thing going on right now where we're having a hard time with the planet. And I'm trying to share with all of you is, we've been talking a long time, right, about Aquarius, the age and the generation of Aquarius that kicked in. We're there. We're in Aquarian, okay? And science and God and how they're all connected. They're all one. They're all one energy, okay? So tonight, I want you to understand that there is no going backwards into boxes. There is no option of not seeing truth. And the universe is at game day mode. You're all in game day. It's game day and you are all up to bat, right? Yet most people that you're watching that are struggling still are still in their habitual habits that are not working. And so each time it doesn't work, it forces you to see truth. And you will not avoid seeing how your old, and I call them pain pillars, your pain pillar attraction. We attract people at our pain pillar, right? At our own pain point is where we attract people. And that old pain pillar attraction of attracting at our pain point is the old white picket fence relationship mindset. Like, oh, isn't this relationship so great? It's a white picket fence and it looks so pretty on the outside, but it's not, right? The delusions that we create, such as like, I want to act as if I have, attracted this perfect little union and everybody outside of me is going to see how wonderful this white picket fence relationship is. Only after some time, then you come to realize it's a union of unhealthy love that is far from perfect and resembles the inner hell that I refuse to see, right? And I refuse to see that I magnetized my mirror to make me see my own inner demons. And this mirror is what I can use to change my reality. And people don't want to use these words. I would never, you all have demons. We all have it. We all have a shadow beast. We all have dark and light, masculine, feminine, ego, spirit. It's all there. We're just saying, I don't have that. Lies. This is lying to ourselves, right? So how can I do this? We have to unlearn, learn, and relearn. We have to get into that habit, right? And accept that all that is non-truth is dying, and it will continue to keep dying and burning for the next 20 years on and on. Okay. So right now, anything that you're struggling with, all of you on this call, whatever you're struggling with, it's likely it's where you are denying your truth. And I don't care who's in your life, it's not their truth. So if you're trying to accommodate everyone else and you're losing yourself and you're frustrated with a thing, a person, place, or thing or experience, right? And you're losing yourself in that experience, it's not your truth. You're denying your truth. And I'm telling you right now, it will end, including your own personal non-truths. Okay? So all your karma will surface and any non-truth will end. You have this free will energy that we came in as souls, and we have free will to learn how to complete your karmic lesson. And you're going to complete it, right? Or it's going to reappear with pain that hurts to get your attention. And most people don't want to do it, right? Until it hurts. And they're like, can you believe it's my answer is yes? I can totally believe that pain showed up. As we avoid, and we get in these delusions of things that aren't making, I'm not saying the people around you are bad. I'm saying you're avoiding your own truth. So if you're living ignorant or in a delusion of a truth, you're avoiding seeing it, it's going to reappear and it will hurt. Okay. Karma is completion of a lesson. Okay. Does that make sense? So whatever your karma is a lesson. It is something you have not completed if it keeps showing up. And so whatever your karma is, it's to learn and complete it and then learn it. Understand that the truth about it. What is the truth about your karma? Right. And I've shared this with all of you when we talk about astrology and your hotspots and your charts, which are, by the way, courses on my website now. So if you want to go learn your hotspots, you can just go take the class, take the video, watch them, and look at your chart and go, oh, yeah, these are kind of hard hotspots for me. Right. And so understanding the truth about who you are and where you have to learn some karma, it's different for everyone. All truth will surface because Pluto in Aquarius is the sign of truth, and it will burn down all non-truth so that it can be seen. The truth can be seen, right? It will be hard for many to see truth because they have known whatever you've known your whole lives, they don't want it to burn down to the ground. You're like, no, that can't be true, right? Government, all this government BS, money, the things that you thought you wanted, like purses and shoes and cars and friends and beliefs and social groups, the things that you thought were your truth will change, right? You can still want them. Don't get me wrong. I will still want shoes, but only if they are part of your soul's truth, something that makes you sing, that makes you feel good. Some people love cars, make them feel good, so have the cars, but not because they do something for you for society. Because now your wants and your desires and your frequency wants to be lighter and loving, not owning a thing. Okay. And so many of you guys, if you think about it, you've done, well, many of you guys on this call, right? You have been doing amazing work. You've been working so hard on your soul to become lighthouses for the last, 3 to 5 years you've been with me. And it will begin to turn into blessings flowing right into your life, right? Like the reality you desire is going to be like snapped. It's going to come in as quick as you can clap out those mental boulders that we talked about last week and the week before. When you have this quantum, this 5D, 4D, and 3D is the earth your feet's touching, right? And clapping out any mental boulders that are blocking you from receiving quantum energy, quantum truth. And so they will turn into blessings, right? That are going to flow into your life. And so your energetic frequency, please remember this. Your energetic frequency will be your signature in this life. How are you showing up energetically as an energetic frequency? People will feel you, right? How you do anything is how you do everything. So if you're being an asshole here, that frequency will show up somewhere else with a friend. If you're being, loving and kind here, it will show up in your business or with your children. How will you show up? It's a big question, right? So there's the law of attraction, which you're attracting to you with that frequency. And then there's the law of repulsion, repelling anything that isn't you, or is not you. So think of it that way. So your soul signature is an energetic frequency that will either attract or repel everything that is or is not you. And it will match what you are wanting on the blessing scale, as well as booms, right? Those booms I was talking about, the explosions, removing all that is not you. So if any experience is not in alignment with your highest soul signature, it will be pulled from you. And sometimes it will be ripped fast. And this is what people are getting frustrated with, because a lot of people are getting ill or passing, or your own energy field, you're getting hurt or injured because you're getting ripped off of experience and saying, come over here. So it's important to get in alignment and onto a highway that you desire. Okay. You are now at an intersection, all of you, and you have to decide what you want, how you want to live your truth. So that any incompatible frequencies, if you're on this highway and they're not compatible with you, they're going to exit the off ramps, period. So choosing your life soul's highest signature, highest truth, your attraction is simply going to fall into place onto that highway as you move along, and experiences, right? You're going to have less boulders, shall I say, in your way, in your road, letting it in and letting go. Letting go is something most of us don't want to do, because we're like, but I've known them for 30 years, but I've had this job for 15 years, but I've done this for the past I'm talking about. It's going to burn. So let it. Invite love in and invite the clap of the unwelcome boulders out. Remember, I just said, clap it out. You're feeling a thought and experience energetically in your mind, see it and go, no, it's gone. Burn that boulder to ashes. So at this point, polarity, like the opposites of things, right, is your priority to acknowledge if you want to transition into a new reality that we're moving into. And if you can't refrain from criticism of others for not being where you are, you will have a hard time. Right? Why am I saying that? Because that's polarity. If you're over here and you're saying those over there aren't good, that's polarity, and that will be difficult. Your soul's karma is the gig you are working on now, the gig, the game day. Okay? You're not here to judge another's journey, my friends. It's time to release the need to reveal if someone is bad and thinking you'll be a better person for setting the record straight, right? And I mean this applies to everything. So ask yourself, are you spouting out the importance of your religion, which is why I started with that? Are you spouting out the importance of your religion, or how your guy is the better guy if you don't pick Jesus as your savior, or Allah, or Krishna, or Buddha, or you're not going to get saved? It's total bullshit. I told you from this point forward, I'm calling truth on everything, because my version of connecting with God doesn't match up to a boxed up, man-made written script many were given. This means that I somehow am not going to make it, according to those who are polarized. So others' projection of me, they're projecting out and saying their version of me is actually a huge red flag about them. Okay, it only describes your inner fear that your prescription of heaven is not valid in your beliefs. Even though you're selling it to people, the prescription you're selling, you don't believe it, or that you don't totally have faith in your heaven. So it's okay to criticize my personal heaven on earth. Okay, so I want you guys to understand this, because I'm good with my daily chatter with God. You and we've talked about this many times, like I'm talking all day long to God. I don't judge your version of connection. Why? Because it's not my karma to understand it. It has nothing to do with religion, which has blinded many due to this cult-like blind following instead of critical thinking, like, hey, would God do or say this or not, right? Now I want you to apply the same religious box or belief or criticism or judgment, and I want you to apply that same cult mindset with politics. Ooh, that's a big one right now. With education. Ooh, you're not educated. You're not smart enough. You are. You go to school. You don't go to school, right? Ooh, with medicine. Ooh, there's a big one. Those are the three biggies. I know some people, my friends, who are more educated than a lot of MDs. Why? Because so many doctors just accepted the boxed up version that they were given. So the same thing applies to food, to school, to medicine, to religion, education systems, that so many people, and a lot of us forget this, have not questioned up until now. I questioned it the whole time. Why? Because I didn't fit in. And so I was like, this is the stupidest way to do this. Why would you force me to learn things that I have no interest in doing the rest of my life? But you have to. No, I don't. You've neglected to ask, and all of you, I want you to ask yourself right now, what are your soul's needs? Even if you're an awakened being and you've been on my calls, or you do a lot of research, you listen to a lot of spiritual enlightenment, YouTubes and channels and followers, even if you're awake, it's time to ask more expanded questions. Okay? Why? Because Aquarius is the sign of air. It's an air sign. I know it looks like water. She's the water bearer, but she's pouring out knowledge. She's pouring out wisdom. Okay? So the fact that we're in this Aquarian energy for, the next 20 plus years, is the sign of air, science, space, freedom, and truth consciousness. Okay? Then we go to science. Quantum physics, my friends, is the way we're looking at the quantum field, is a science of truth, the truth of the unseen, right? All that you can't see, there's now a quantum physics. Well, there's always been quantum physics, but now it's so good and easy to understand. You're like, wow, it's showing us what we can't see is actually there. Energetic truth, okay? And then God is the frequency of love consciousness, which is inside of all of us. So if you are sitting face to face with God, can you say you're living your true purpose? Right? That's my point of there is no hiding from truth consciousness. If you're sitting knee to knee with God, even if God is just a consciousness energy, which is how I see God, this loving, unconditionally loving frequency of high frequency love. That's within your DNA. It's within you. You are all source, all consciousness, all God loving. But if you had to sit knee to knee with that energy, would you be able to say, yes, I'm living that truth? There's no hiding from truth consciousness from this point forward, because Aquarius rules it, quantum physics, the quantum field rules it, and God consciousness rules it. So validating energy is all we are in mind, in body, mind, and spirit. Everything is an illusion of a frequency that's creating a reality, including God. And I'm using the word God consciousness. You can use it source consciousness. You can use it divine consciousness. You can use universal consciousness. It is all loving, pure DNA consciousness. And so the reason that we call kind of like this time on earth, shall we say, that we're all going through right now, that we are in like the ascension or spiritual awakening, right, is because you are finally waking up to truth and you are not accepting cult acceptance of all that you are told is true. Okay. Your soul will use frequency and energy to feel truth in all things. You're going to feel love or lack of love in all things. That's it. So someone asked to repeat one of these phrases. Energy is an illusion of a frequency creating a reality, including God. Like God consciousness is source consciousness. So everything is an illusion of frequency that creates your reality. So if you want to live in a heaven or hell reality, you're living in hell on earth. There is no other reality, my friends. You are here now. There's not going somewhere. You're not going to go to the fifth dimension. You're not going to go to the fourth dimension. The fourth dimension is in the DNA within your source of consciousness within here. This is God consciousness in you, divine consciousness in you, quantum field consciousness is you. So you either tap into it or you tap into the hell frequency, which is misery and pain and suffering, and we don't move. Okay? So to feel love or lack of love in all things is your goal. The quantum field is a match to your field of energy, which is what she was asking about, this illusion. So it's up to you all to open up to the light of truth and live your highest version of your soul. You're not getting out of this. So you can do it painfully or gently, right? And you can believe the government's polarizing dishonesty for thousands of years. This is the Aquarius, right? The Aquarius phase that we're in. This has happened every, I don't know, I can't remember the number totally. Every time Pluto runs 20 years, and it takes, 240 some years to get through the entire constellation. So just making it even 300 with the retrogrades ish in that range, right? So every 300 years, we're going through this Aquarian shift. And so what's funny is that every time you see this polarizing dishonesty of hierarchy top down, right, it's been happening to wake us up each generation to the next level, to learn, get ready, y'all ready, to take care of yourself, not to let someone else do it. Aquarius is very independent. It's very solution oriented. It's very thought oriented, which again, you can get lost in your thoughts. So this is why I'm asking you guys to open up. You can believe what you've learned is all that you need, and you don't need to learn beyond it, right? Or you can create your own school and your own education to get what you do want out of it. You have to start thinking that way. You can believe that medical doctors are the only ones who can heal you, or you can research other options because there are hundreds and hundreds of ways. You can believe that you need a book and a box to connect to God and to source, or you can start now and not worry about how you connect, but simply start asking, are you living Christ-like energy? Love energy, frequency. The frequency of God is love. The frequency of source consciousness is love. If you're not loving yourself, if you're not loving, and I mean loving others, I'm not saying someone's not going to be an asshole, but love them where they're at, leave them be. So if you can live in that frequency, it will reveal every truth. There's no turning back. The universe will reveal every truth. You don't need to be the one to out people. What is your soul's truth? Right? Start finding every possible way to learn more about how you can shine in your own terms and on your own terms right now. right? Because you can be angry at others for their actions, or you can simply say, what do I want instead? What can I do to get that thing that I want? Act as if, from this point forward, I want you to act as if everyone on the planet is invisible. Okay. That would be an Aquarian way. Okay. It's just you, right? And so my question for you tonight is, what do you need to do to get confident or achieve what you wish for? Okay. Okay, I'm going to go into the planetary update, but someone's asking specifically on what I've been talking about. If you've outed someone and they get mad, then it's on us for outing when we're going to have the truth delivered when it's their time. Correct. So here's my point. If you're speaking a truth, my friends, so I get where this gets confusing. If it's your truth and you say, this is the truth that I live by, this is the truth how I see it, this is the truth that I'm going to live by for me so I can shine my brightest self. This is how I see it. This is how I see, you know, the polarity in politics and education and medicine or whatever it is. Okay. Religion. And I feel like I'm going to go hang out with my spirit guides and angels, and I really don't need no box, or I don't need a book. I don't need nothing. I just need to go talk. Okay. And I tell someone that and they're like, well, which again, I shared with you for 30 years, it's been going on. So it's not like it's actually kind of a fun game for me now. And someone says, well, that's not Christ-like, or that's not very Christian, or that's against the Bible. My answer is like, okay, that's your truth. I let them have it. We don't need to tell them their truth is wrong. I just need to speak my truth and not take it personal that they're not ready. They heard your truth. They can join your truth as a lighthouse when they're ready. Remember, the boats will turn into lighthouses or come find you when they're ready. Got it? Okay. Planetary update. My friends, today is the 3rd, okay? Thursday, there's a full moon in Libra. This is kind of a big full moon. Why? Because it's in Libra is the sign of justice, the scales of justice. And so everybody's like, I want to go out and arrest everybody. And they will come out. Justice will be served if someone was actually, you know, their truth is not being revealed honestly, right? But again, I don't care whether it's everything you're watching in the world, media, all the boxes I told you, are dishonest, and the truth will come out. Whether it's in 6 months, a year, or 2 years, it doesn't matter. So be prepared for a lot of the stuff you've always heard or taught to die. Okay. Because of this full moon, it's in Libra, the scales of justice. So also partnerships. Okay. So if your partnerships or things that you've been doing are out of balance, this new full moon is about closure. Full moons are about closure. Okay. So this is on Thursday. So you're already feeling it today. So the full moon in Libra on the 6th is a culmination point of a lot of emotional and spiritual release, which is why I brought up this whole religious thing for all of you. So I try to correlate all this for you guys to understand what's happening. You aren't getting out of it. And a lot of you are going to go, oh my God, I always used to believe this. And now I thought that was true and it's not, and I'm confusing. I don't care if everything you learned was not true and you have to start from scratch. Go with beginner's mindset. Okay. But if I had to live my truth, what do I want to learn? That's what this is going to bring out of you. It's a very potent full moon. If you know your chart, go look for Libra at 16 degrees. It's an air sign. So it's here about thoughts again. Aquarius, Libra, they're very airy. So they're thinking. So they're here to help us heal our wounds and traumas so that we can like make a decision or a decisive move forward without heavy baggage from the past. So they're kind of showing you where you're out of balance, and they're saying, dump that off, put closure so I can come back into balance. Because Libra is the sign associated with relationships and how we interact with them. It's also connected, like I said, to justice, fairness, and what the needs and well-being is for others as well as for yourself. And so you might notice that there's going to be a little bit of a spotlight on your relationships and how we choose to show up for them, or how you choose to show up for yourself. Which relationships are bringing out our best selves? So this whole, like everything I just shared with you, these relationships or these people, if they're criticizing you, are they bringing out your best self? Then they're probably not where you should be. Does that make sense? Okay. So that's where that comes in. What relationships also, what beliefs are, again, I want you to think about the relationships that are in your life. What beliefs do you have that cause you to shrink back into less of a person that you can be, right? What belief do you have about the people in your life and going, oh, if I say anything, if I do anything, if I'm being me, I have to play small around them. That means you have to change you. So I'm trying to share with all of you, living your truth is who you need to be. It doesn't matter if they like it or not. You have to learn to know that it's so deeply ingrained in your truth that it's okay. You'll feel it. It'll give you more confidence, not less. So here's the thing. Here's the full moon. Here's all this stellium of planets up here. They're all jammed into Aries and Taurus, okay? And so this full moon in Libra is opposing Chiron, which is the planet, or the sign, I should say sign. It's an asteroid that rules wounds, right? And it's opposing this asteroid Chiron in Aries, known as the wounded healer. So the opposition also signifies this need for deep soul searching and inner healing. So that's why you're all feeling, you might be feeling emotional or overwhelmed, or like everything's okay, but you're like still feeling off, because it's trying to get you to dump and purge all the emotional energy, frequency, relationship energy that you need to let go of. Now, the other thing is right next to Chiron, the planet of good fortune and good luck, the lucky horseshoe planet, Jupiter. The Jupiter is the planet of expansion, so it makes things bigger, right? And it's sitting right by Chiron right now, is also opposing this full moon, okay? And so it intensifies this need, which is what you're all feeling right now, okay? So I don't want you to question this. It intensifies this need for self-restoration, this bringing you back into balance and thorough inner work. Healing in relationships is possible at this time, okay? So if you're having a relationship that you do truly love them, but you got to work out some deep shit, work out your own, show up truth, say, yeah, I needed to work this out. That's not fair to you. I have to come clean with my own stuff. That's what this is going to ask you to do, is start coming clean with your own stuff and do some thorough inner work. Because if you're out of balance, it's you're out of balance, not them that remember, you're not here to criticize. So healing in relationships is going to come up. Most importantly, this is the most important one, your relationship that you have with yourself. Okay, so be gentle with yourself moving forward and just start asking, what do you need? This full moon may illuminate so many things for us because it's sending all these healing vibrations while we're moving forward. Okay, and so it's going to allow you, when you start healing that, or at least acknowledging, going inside of yourself and go, what do I need to feel more confident, to feel more supported, to feel seen, to be in my truth without judging or dictating how someone else should live their life. Okay. And I mean everyone. Okay. We may also finally get, with all this energy, the confidence to finally let go. And some of you might be shifting relationships that are no longer serving your highest good or your highest self. So some of you have been questioning, should I, walk away or shift or let this go? This will be one of those times where it'll put closure to that, whatever version of that relationship it is. Okay. And then the reminder of what we talked about a little bit last week, but Pluto and Aquarius, you are all adding combo to this with this arrangement with this full moon and all this energy pulling of healing. And then Pluto sits in Aquarius, and Pluto's going to push everyone on the planet to find their inner truth, their inner power. Oh, and Pluto's going to push. Sorry, guys. Okay, sorry about that. So I don't know how that happened. So this is one of the biggest cosmic shifts, right? That's going to bring about major shifts. And again, a 20-year transit. So it's going to be a drip for you, but just be open-minded to this transformation in your life so that you can start going, I'm going to expect unlimited growth. I'm going to get my soul to evolve. Everything I've ever known is going to be brand new to you. And you're going to start being able to reach these new heights and manifesting good things, you guys. beyond anything you can imagine. Remember that it's all very good for you. So self-transformation and emotional and physical shifting that could be very quick, because that's Aquarius, it's like that, may surprise you. But I want to remind you, as I leave this last planetary update, anything outdated, Pluto, Aquarius, will end. So if you think you're going to hold on to the way your political beliefs, your science, your medical beliefs, your educational beliefs, and your religious beliefs, I'm just preparing you. I'm just the messenger. I was the messenger back then when they all yelled at me and told me I was a bad person, believing in the devil, and it's the devil's work. And now everyone's coming to me going, why is this happening? And I'm sharing with you because God is source energy. It's a frequency. It is not a man in the clouds. I know that's what many want to believe, but that is not what it is. It is divine source consciousness inside of you wanting to explode out so you share love. Okay, so it's going to be your choice to become aware that which is dying or ready to die, or it's going to be forced onto you because your intuitive emotional thoughts have been saying, God, angel, spirit, help me. And then it shifts something out of you. Okay, everybody tap in right here, right? I am courage. I am love. I am truth. I am courage. I am love. I am truth. And a lot of you might have to do it all day long for a while. So your challenge is, if I want you to ask yourself, if I could see energy in me, if I could look at my energy field that is attracting or repelling, what does my reality say that I need to change? Right? If I'm attracting things or I'm repelling good things that I want, you're going to have to look inside and start rebalancing what is your truth. Or are you attracting good things and you are staying away from and you're repelling things that aren't good for you? That's good, right? That's your goal. All right. So I'm going to open Q&A. Those of you who are on the Zoom, there are quite a few of you, who can see truths appearing that you don't want to release, but you know, like it would be so much easier to live the life you want if you weren't in a box. Right? You could just go learn whatever the heck you wanted instead of being in that school. You could go and connect to source and God and consciousness and all these different divine higher beings if you could get out of not being felt guilty and criticized. Like how do you look at some of these beliefs? If I let go of all political beliefs and just looked for someone who was talking my truth and made me feel good about myself, that's a source truth business or consciousness instead of looking at left and right polarization. Okay, so who can see truths appearing even in your personal close relationships, whether it's your spouse, your family, where you're like, I see a truth and I want to out them, but I know I shouldn't. And if I backed up, it's really my truth that I need to look at. Okay. Let me see what's coming in here for questions regarding this. Okay, so this question is, I want to make sure I understand this. How do you determine what truth is a better truth for you? Okay, so what I think you're saying, what I think this person's asking, what if you believe something is true and how do you know it's not true for you anymore? Like, how do you know? And my answer is if anything in your life is frustrating you, repeating, or it's chronically affecting you, whether it's your health, your emotions, your beliefs, and it's not your truth. And it's asking you to seek a lighter truth. Okay, so this can be your political stance, your education stance, your relationships, how you see the white picket fences of relationships, your health beliefs. Does what you believe from your past help you in the future? That's what you got to start asking yourself. Does the decision that you have made about these things give you long-term confidence? Do you believe that that will hold true for you and give you confidence in the future? That's how I want you to look, how to know if does this truth help you in the future. I'm not saying get rid of God, guys. I'm just saying the way you are suffering and sinning and bad, gone. I'm telling you, it will burn to the ground. Okay. You should have the freedom to just connect to source consciousness at all times and have faith in yourself. Okay. I see truth. I see a truth about how I feel about my health, but a sliver of criticizing another has surfaced. Okay, let me make sure I understand this question is, you feel like you're like, wow, I'm criticizing someone else, how they take care of their health poorly, but you're not looking at your own. Is that what you mean? Okay. So this is a perfect example, my friends. Like, this is a very good example of where we're criticizing and judging someone else, how they're eating or acting or not taking health supplements or whatever they're supposed to be doing, right? And yet our own health is suffering and we're like judging them, but then without looking at our own stuff, right? Like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't be criticizing them when I'm not taking care of my own self, right? It's exactly what I've been trying to make on this call. I've never wanted to judge anyone regarding source consciousness. However you get to God, you get to God. Just don't judge me how I get there. Because no matter what label you give source consciousness or God, you're all going to the same place, love. In every doctrine that they use, they're all going to love. That's funny. And she said, you just called me out. I'm not trying to call anyone out. I'm actually trying to help you all see what I'm looking within my own self to see. I've been looking at these things and going, okay, sometimes we don't know why our truth is true, but I want you to hold it. I didn't know why for 30 years, right? It didn't make sense to me why people were so caught into being told it was okay for them to be a sinner. I was like, I'm not a sinner. I'm not a bad person. I just don't want to talk to God the way you talk to God. Didn't make it wrong. But I was never one of those conformities. I was supposed to go to I wanted to go to med school. And I was like, I'll never make it in med school. So I'd rather help people heal their minds and their bodies my way, by finding the true answers, the true roots, the true root to the cause, instead of just being told there's one boxed version. And if you don't follow it, you're in trouble. And my answer was, kiss my ass. Okay. All right. So this is a really good question that came in here. And let's see if this is what they mean. It says, if Aquarius is tech, and it is, Aquarius does rule technology and science. So they're right. Is it AI? It's a very good question. Yes, Aquarius is why AI is all coming to the forefront right now. When you look at artificial intelligence, a lot of people are starting to freak out and get scared by it. And absolutely, Aquarius tech and science is the quantum sciences across the board, flying, sky, the mind, thoughts, healing through communal connection of people in the quantum field, right? I can quantumly connect to someone. I can make a text or a call or an email to someone in Taiwan right now if I wanted to, and it would get there like that. We are getting to a quantum expansion, right? Okay, so you're right on the mark on that. You can fall hard. Remember, everything is high frequency or low frequency. Remember that. I've taught you that. So even Aquarius and Pluto, okay? High frequency is the things I've been teaching you. The low frequency is you can fall for the new tech and you can lose your humanness. Okay, so this is where a lot of people were taking the new tech for the poke. And now we're finding out that there's not good things in it that can ruin your human organicness. Okay, can you get out of it? As I've shared with all of you, absolutely, you can undo it. But my point is that you can lose your humanness. So does tech make you more calm, or does it make you more disconnected from your soul? That's how you know how to use tech and AI. So this is your time to determine the truth and if it benefits you long term or only short term. So if AI will help us heal, but only to the point of its connection to your truth. Okay, so not your old controlled programs, right? Does it help you connect to quantum, mind, body, spirit, socially? Okay, or does it weaken your soul's connection? Does it make you, right? Do you feel less human with it? Does it create an environment where you're not even asking yourself? This is what I've been trying to teach you all when it came to spirit and God and religion. Well, the book says this is what I believe, but you don't. Well, medicine said this is what I have to do, but it doesn't make you feel good. It's time for us to start asking ourselves conscious creation of our own source consciousness within us, saying, does that feel good for my truth? And if it doesn't make you better or healthier in the future, you're going to get a hit. So AI is, yes, absolutely to help you. I use AI, my friends. There's right now the big thing is Chat GPT. I use Jasper, which is another version of Chat GPT, and I use it and it's awesome. But do I ask it, do you think I'm a good person? No, because I can give a shit less if Jasper thinks I am. I ask it to help me edit or do things that I can't do as fast. So people are like, well, am I going to lose my job? No, you're just going to find a better version of your job. Okay, someone says, this is really great. Someone says, I was raised very religious, but never believed it even in 5th grade. See, I was about 5th grade too. I'm glad he's bringing this up. I've had a strong belief in standing up for the weaker ever since grade school when I saw bullies. I was always had a strong belief of who I am and never doubted it. I have made mistakes, yes, but I've tried. Let's see. But I've tried to realize them. But lately I've gotten fed up with family that differs from how I think and how I've disowned everyone. LOL. I've talked to them and tried to explain myself and where I'm coming from. I've never been afraid to approach anyone and tell them what I think, but I feel as if maybe I've pushed so many people away from myself. I hope I did the right thing. Well, here's how you can open this up, my friend. This is a really good concept he's saying. I thought this was my truth. It's okay to tell people what your truth is. The challenge that we're all up against is we're feeling that we have to tell people what their truth is. And if they don't like your truth, they're bad. And my point is if someone doesn't like your truth, it doesn't mean you need to shove it down their throat. So it's not as if you did the wrong thing. This person didn't do the wrong thing. What it is saying, you know what? I respect where your truth is. I respect where your heart is. And if you believe something different politically, medically, spiritually, religiously, as he brought up at the beginning, it could be any of them, right? If you believe that, I respect that that's what you believe. We just agree to disagree and move on, but you still love them where they're at instead of pushing them away. They will choose to exit your highway if it's so misaligned. Remember, law of attraction and law of repulsion, repelling what is no longer in your energy field. But when we judge and tell people you have to believe this, it's no different than someone saying you have to believe, if you're not a Christian, Donna, if you don't read the Bible, if you don't go to church, you're not a good person. If you haven't claimed Jesus, no, I didn't claim Jesus. I just want to be Christ-like. I want to be loving like him. I don't want to be him, nor do I want to wait for him to save me, because he'll never save me. I will save me. So this is a big deal. So when it comes to all these things, that's the same Christ consciousness that we have to look at and go, okay, am I being loving enough to let people be where they are? They'll show up when they're ready. It's hard. So it's not about you doing the right thing. No one does the wrong thing. As I keep telling you, you're perfect where you are. There's nothing wrong with you. It's more a matter of saying, I still want to love everybody where they're at and not forcing them to come to where you are, if that makes sense. What is the 44 portal? Can you give me a little bit more reference to what you're meaning? 4-4, it's 4-4 tomorrow, which means 44, right? So again, let's look at portals as energy of numbers. Okay, so tomorrow's 4-4, and you would call it the 44 portal, right? Okay, so basically it's 4-4 tomorrow. Okay, and so 44 would equal 8, and 8 represents power. It rules your financial power, your power within your own ability to take back your power with your career, with your leadership ability, that kind of thing. So tomorrow's kind of a big day of taking back your power in a sense. Okay, so that's how you look at portals of energy. You look at them as the frequency, and 44 will deduct down to 4 + 4 = 8. And an 8 frequency is all about standing in your power. So it's a very powerful day tomorrow. Did I answer that well, Pat? I want to make sure I referred to you on that one. And I hope I gave you some clarity on that, which is, it's not about telling people, right, how they need to be. It's more saying, this is how I feel, and I'm not mad at you for thinking what you feel. right? And so sometimes they'll come back to you later and go, oh, or you might have to go to them and say, maybe I just misunderstood some things. And maybe I might be misunderstood. Maybe I need to research a little bit. Could you tell me where did you get this? How did you learn this? Maybe there's something you're missing that you haven't learned, right? Yes. So, okay, good. Go back. You have to go and explain yourself better. And maybe your explanation means I want to actually ask a question. Could you teach me where you're learning this? Because this is a big deal for me, where a lot of people would say, this is the way it has to be, i.e. the religion thing. And I want to go, well, where are they learning this? If there's only one box they're learning from, I would go look for 5 other boxes and say, oh, here's 5 other versions. So actually, we're all going to the same place. We're just trying to get there in a different way. Okay, so that's really good. Does that help all of you? So what I want you all to understand is, yes, we're going in technology. Yes, we're going into AI. Yes, you are going to start understanding that there are other planets. We are not the only tiny little perfect little beings on this planet. There are other races of beings that are from other galaxies. But oh my God, that's got to scare people. Like the fact that you even question that is something you've got to start expanding out and go, wait a minute, am I being controlled in this tiny little box? Because I'm warning all of you, your political boxes, I don't care what side you're on, will burn. There will be only a center box. It will all come together. Maybe 10 years from now, but get ready. Your religious boxes, get ready. They will all burn down and you will all start connecting to higher consciousness. Because AI will help with that. Now, it will control you if you're going to go put a chip in you, or if you're going to put bad tech in you that doesn't help you and it hurts you. If it's controlling you and making you less human, that's where I want you to question it. And if you're not researching what's in things and you just blindly, cultly accept things, I want you to question it. That's it. High frequency of the future, science, tech, God, source, Aquarius? Yes. Low frequency is less human. Okay, so think through it. Ask, research, expand your knowledge base on things, because you're going to go, wow, I had no idea. Okay, that's what will shift your reality. That's what will shift your confidence of where we're going. So people have been telling me, oh my God, AI is going to just wipe out all these jobs. Good, because a lot of these jobs, none of you should be doing. There are way bigger, more joyful, expanded things that you would probably love to do more than these stupid, tedious little things that AI could help with. It's no different than the tractor showing up when you were plowing with an ox. It's exactly the same, just different. So let's open up and embrace it, see how we can expand ourselves, and then look at the things that make you less human and do not engage in those, because it's no different. Okay, so again, you can turn into the farmer who overplows, who over-toxifies all of his crops with toxic, glycophosphate. I know I'm saying it wrong. Glyphosate. I can't say it right. Roundup, let's just say, in a sense, right? With these toxins that you're now eating. So you can be high frequency or low frequency. Aquarius communal, which means we're all going to start looking for our own food. We're all going to start going to local farmers, local organic farmers. I have my grass-fed, organic-fed meat and fish delivered right to my door, and I support all the local farmers. So the same goes with vegetables. The same goes with my food. You're going to start communally supporting those who are close to you because you want them to thrive. It won't matter what the industry is. Health. My girlfriend, I was out of some supplements and she saved the day. You guys all knew for 2 weeks ago, last week and the week before, that my back had been hurt, and she gave me stuff that just super helped me. And it was natural, but she helped me. Okay. All right. So let's see. Someone's coming in here as, let's see. I am a fanatic of history. Yeah, a lot of people are. I love it. And I look at religion, that there were books allowed in the Bible and there were books disallowed. Exactly. But they were all relevant to humanity, and all these modern religions, no matter what they are, Jewish, Catholic, blah, blah, blah. Yep. They all come from ancient religions of Enoch before the civilization that we live in, absolutely 6,000 years ago. It's 100,000 years older, and then we have a lot to learn, and we need to live on this spaceship Earth together, or we're going to die alone. Well said, mister, well said. So that's my point. We have to start loving each other and stop letting TV and programming, it's called programming for a reason, tell you not to like someone because of their religion, because of their, political, because of their skin color, because anything. Love them. Now, if you don't want to go hang out in their weird world that they're in, don't. Still love them. That's the difference. And then go find what you do love. And I guarantee you that's called getting on your highway and attracting what you want. And that which is not you will repel and exit your highway. Yes, I was open. Thank you, my dear. You were the best. I call her my dealer, my health dealer. She always helps me out when I can't find something. She always helps me. I love it. So does that help you all? We're coming to the end here, but I wanted to make sure you guys understand everything is going to come together as oneness, connection, communal love, but it's going to be a little bit of a rocky road. So you're all here to shine light for others so they can see it's okay that we let some things go. And if you're not ready, I'm here as a lighthouse. I just got lighthouse tattooed on me, guys. Yeah, I am not changing. I'm not going back. I am not letting up on this. So get ready for the boxes to keep burning. And in the next several months, you're going to see more burn. Let them go. Open up. I love you all. Remember, those of you, I know I knew you guys would laugh about that. Those of you who are in the Truth Tribe, please go just tap on Daisy, tap on the IDI Club. You will have more access to links. I'm going to start dumping all the things we talk about, pictures, articles, all things that help you grow body, mind, spirit at these higher levels of consciousness in that wall. It's like a Facebook wall, but I can say whatever I want there. Okay. That's where it's at. So people are asking me if you are either Truth Tribe, you need to move up, or you can go into the Spiritual Warrior. All of you can get in. Okay. So I will see you next week. I love you all. Brightest blessings. And you guys have an awesome week. Remember, full moon is on Thursday. Do not get tripped up. It's asking you to open up and release and get yourself in balance. Go give yourself a little TLC. You all deserve it. You guys have a great night. Brightest blessings.